What is going on, everybody? My name is Japes. Welcome back to another episode in my path to power. Before we get into the episode, if you guys are looking to pick up any MSP or PSN cards, make sure to check out the gamekeys.co.uk. Or if FIFA coins are more your thing, check out justfifacoins.com. You can use the code Japes to get yourself a 5% discount on their instant delivery. So if you're trying to stock up for Team of the Year or something, I would do it in advance because it's going to get crazy coming up here. And if you guys would like to see a Team of the Year predictor from me later on today, make sure to drop a like on this video and I will be happy to do that. But I tried to play in the Silver Cup again and it just isn't happening. I cannot find opponents. So I headed on into the semifinals of the Champion Shield, or as I affectionately and forever will call it, the Gold Cup. We're coming up against Croydon FC, that 4-4-2 formation, which I think it seems to be making a comeback because I've been playing it a lot more recently. And if a lot of people are starting to play it, that means that, you know, there must be something to it. So maybe I'll have to screw around with it a little bit on my main account and see if I can't get it to do what I would imagine it should do. But we're getting things started. And on the topic of formations, what's nice to see is there's no, like in previous years, there were a few formations that were just in completely, utterly dominant. So that's really all you came up against. But in this year, there have been just quite a few, or not even quite a few. You can use any formation and have relative success with it. So hats off to EA for that, for balancing that out. Lovely goal there from Uchan, and he is back. He lives the chip life. And while this isn't a chip, it is still a fantastic finish taken first time. Tucks it into the side netting at the far post. Now, he might have been charging his keeper out a little bit, so that would have something to do with the ease at which it went in. And also on the topic of the chip life, we're going to get a few chips in this episode. Beautiful pass from Bomba right there, but for me, the chip life is more than just scoring chips here or there. It's also got to do, I think, with how you set yourself up in position, because I've been asked to do a chip shot tutorial quite a few times now, and it's something that I think I will maybe try to incorporate in at some point. But in order to successfully pull it off, you really have to get your players in the right position to do it. And that is not going to be your classic right trigger sprint through on goal. You have to get yourself set up and slow your players' pace down. And you can see I stopped the sprint before going into that chip with Uchan right there and kind of squared up where I was looking to go. And it is a beautiful, beautiful chip, though, into the far corner. So when you're thinking about trying to do it or working it into your game or whatnot, take some of those things into consideration. You can see slow him down, pick your spot, and hit it where you want it. Beautiful finish though. And this guy, he was kind of a over-the-top through-ball type player, which I was expecting a little bit. I think he ended up subbing on a Barbo at one point, which, you know, it's a common thing on Ultimate Team. When in doubt, put on a Barbo. But I'm on my A game again. And if you guys watched last night's super late upload, if not, go check it out. You could see I did not have my finishing boots on, but today was a different story entirely. I was on my A game, and when I feel like I'm on my A game and getting back to the way that I want to play and really taking the game to people, it's just a lot better. It makes for a much happier Japes and hopefully a much better viewing experience as well. Lovely finish from Uchan there yet again. We're going to check the stats on some of these players in between this semifinal and the final game that we're going into before one. All in all, a very dominant victory. You can see Uchan picks up a hat trick in that one. And he is just brilliant. And I know that his price has gone up quite a bit recently. And I do apologize for any effects that I have on the market. But with that said, I still want to recommend to you guys the players that I enjoy and the teams that I enjoy using. So this silver team is amazing. And I would highly, highly recommend it if you're looking to pick up just a relatively basic silver squad. I had a few people tweet me and say, Japes, I built that team and I am winning games. It is phenomenal. So it might be something for you guys to be interested in checking out as well. You can see Uchan's bagged 8 goals for us, 3 goals, 2 assists for Lopez, and Uchan only having 1 assist I thought was quite interesting because that means that I am maybe looking off my teammates a little too much with him because I'm so confident in my ability to score with him. So we'll see if we can change that in the next games. And looking through your player stats is something that I'd encourage you guys to do from time to time because it's going to tell you a little bit more about your play style than you think it might do. If you, in this team as well, you can see Dybala was far outperforming, who is my left attacking mid? I can't remember his name right. Is it Bossy? I can't remember his name, but that just says to me that I work the ball up the right side a lot more, and I'm much more confident cutting in on Dybala's left foot than playing whoever my left attacking mid. I can't believe I forgot his name, but he's left-footed as well, and that just means that I like cutting in more, setting myself up for those opportunities. But this is a nice bit of work here from Dybala, finds Uchan, and this is what I'm talking about, where I could have probably tried to take this in on goal, blast it near post, but we find an easy pass to Lopez, who's picked out a wonderful position to hold at the penalty spot to tap in nicely on more or less an open net. It was a phenomenal spin, though, from Uchan to generate that bit of free space. And for whatever reason, this guy is amazing at not getting pushed off the ball. And this was actually against a subscriber who tweeted me after it happened, said just got demolished in the Gold Cup. Not to give away what's going to happen, but he absolutely crushes my defense right there with Sao passing into Emenike. And that was a perfectly timed pass. And that's something that I don't think is appreciated enough in FIFA. And it's not something that people take into consideration enough. I see so many times that people rage and they're like, oh, what are you doing right there? Why aren't you making that run? Or why is that pass been played so far off? And real quick, before I go into that, we're going to watch this replay back. Watch where Uchan, where whatever his mental attributes or whatever it is, whatever statistic that works, he makes a V line for the near post and beats everybody to it. If you're watching football on a Sunday and a player does this, you better believe that the commentators are going to talk about a player's instinctual nature to get to the right spot in the box. And Uchan does just that right there. But with timing of passes, it will make the world of difference. And I think it's one of those things that separates good players from great players a lot of times, or it can be the difference in a match. So take that, think about it. When would you want the ball to be, if you're playing pro clubs or something, when would you want to receive the ball? And try to hold on to it to the right time with the guy that's making the pass. We managed to score another goal. Uchan, when I get one-on-one at the top of the box with him, I feel like confident enough to win that battle 10 times out of 10. 45th minute, we're up 3-1. Now we're into the 68th minute, and it's Perez starting the attack for us. Up to Uchan, turns nicely over to Alan, and rather than force that out wide to Dybala, I decided I'd just creep back inside. Thought I didn't like it. Uchan turns up in a nice spot. Brilliant turn, and this is where I finally picked the right pass. Rather than trying to force it with Uchan, that is perfectly weighted, perfectly timed, and it ends up being a very, very easy finish for Lopez. And if I'd wanted to be super sweaty, you'll see I could have LB wide to the far post here and had an even easier tap in probably. But that is a good quality goal all around for my team. I'm happy that I looked at the stats to know that I probably was missing some passes with Uchan, and there it is, trying to make up for it and correct and better myself as a FIFA player. So 4-1 now, 72nd minute. He goes for a bit of an audacious attempt off the kickoff, and we're going to work things up nicely. And sometimes you got to go for a little X pass. Don't be shy, because your players will still check back to it, and you will be able to control it. Nice work here from Lopez to switch the field, and this is out wide to Botta, so it's not Bossy, it's Botta, and he is left-footed, 3-star weak foot, but he's actually a really good player, and I think if I featured him more in the middle of the park or on the other side, he'd be a much more integral part of the team. But because I play him out wide, on the left, I prefer Dybala. On the right, he doesn't make it into the stat line as much as you would like to see. Again, a nice bit of work there from Uchan. Composure to just ball roll the last defender, not rushing it in the box. But then again, it helps that I was already up 3 goals at that point. So that goal making it 5-1, which is where this match is going to come to an end. We're going to check out a quick replay of it. And you can see he's panicking, knowing that he's got to watch out for it. Just a quick ball roll. Then beats the keeper at the near post. Sally Uchan back in business, dropping another hat trick and winning the Gold Cup, or the the Champion Shield final for us right there. 5-1 the final, and an all great performance. I actually think I prefer this team to the gold team that I was playing with, so I'm going to sell some of those players on as the impending market is about to crash. If you haven't sold things on, you better get rid of them today, and in fact, you probably should have gotten rid of them back on Thursday or Friday when prices were at a high, but that's where we're going to come to a close of this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure to drop a like if you did. Other than that, my name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.